Welcome to the Altcoin Hour, your weekly alpha. Yeah, we breaking down the charts, flipping bags, playing smart, from the dips to the moon shots, connecting all the dots. Let's get it. Altcoin Hour.
All right. We are back. What is going on, everybody? Hope everybody's doing very, very well. Got a lot to talk about today. Another hand clap for you guys. We got a lot. I think I got LMFG. Can you hear me, brother? Let me see here. I got to unmute you. What's going on, brother? I think I got you.
Yeah, I'm here. You got me?
Yeah, we got you, man. Hand clap to you as well. How you doing, brother?
Lots of rolls, man.
Yeah.
Not crazy, huh?
Yeah, we
got that with taxes.
Yeah. We got a lot to talk about. Some decent news. We've been talking about that. And by the way, Charles Hoskinson, he's not as bullish on the actual Clarity Act, all this language. He's saying 2029 LMFG now. This is what he's saying. Welcome to the show, Jay. What's going on, brother? He's saying 2029. He doesn't have any faith. We'll get into the markup because it's a little different as far as yield when it comes to stablecoins. We'll get into why the banks are going so hard on this, trying to pull this away. There's a lot of money, at stake here, and it's a threat. It's a threat to the banks, and a lot of people are saying it's a threat to fiat. I think fiat is basically doing its own self in, right, with governmental help as well. But Hoskinson says 2029. What do you think, bro? That's way down the road when it comes to, legislation. So, and I don't know. What do you think, bro? Hopefully not.
That would be ugly, and that's why I say I'm losing faith in my knowledge here, because I really thought this shit should have been done when Biden was in there.
Well, you had choke point. We had that choke point going on.
You got the choke point, and then when Trump gets in there, I mean, like we've said, I think he really screwed it up by letting his kids come out with the Trump coin and all of that. They lost 20 Democrat votes. They would have had everything signed in law, and we would just be worried about getting it tweaked now.
Yeah.
No,
I totally agree. We lost a lot of time, as you're saying. I agree. Man, we got a lot to get into today. And my mic is what's going on with my microphone? I think we're good. So hopefully the audio is good. TVL wise, we're back up almost 1% within a 24-hour period. We had a pretty good dip, guys, in TVL when it comes to decentralized finance. Stablecoin activity down within the last 7 days. A lot of people exiting their staking situations. Liquid staking protocols took a pretty big hit, as well as the decentralized exchange tokens and coins and things of that matter. Perpetuals are doing great, right? Nothing to say about that negative, but in the lending sector, you've seen a lot of lows too as well. So, it's fluctuative, but when it comes to Bitcoin, we're going to get to Bitcoin, and then we're going to jump into the Clarity Act, because there's a lot of things, LMFG, that have changed. Fortunately, Elizabeth Warren, she didn't get her way when it comes to, decentralized finance. Big win. I want to hand clap that too. Big, huge win for DeFi with this markup. But when it comes to rewards, when it comes to Coinbase, I think Coinbase is going to lose on this LMFG, and they're going to lose a lot of revenue because what I'm seeing, I'm looking at some charts, and I think this is why Brian Armstrong is so hell bent on pulling out of his, the support, because if this goes through as is, they're going to lose a lot of money, lots of revenue, hundreds of millions of dollars of revenue. They're going to lose because of this USDC block on rewards for the users. And I didn't know it was that much money. I knew they were making money, but I didn't think it was that much. What you take, man, as we pivot?
Yeah, again, it's just so ugly to me. It sucks. I'm not liking it, and so hopefully somehow they pull this off and they get it straightened out. But the banks, man, more power than I thought they had over the politicians. It sucks.
Yeah. There's another issue, that's on the table here. Excuse me. When it comes to the banks and why they're so hell bent on canceling out the shield. Now they're going to allow, and I'm gonna get into the nuances of it once we get out of this altcoin wrap up. It's it's not all gone. It's not all bad. But when it comes to just holding your stable coins on an exchange and like Coinbase and just getting, yield rewards, I think, man, I was getting almost 5% last year. I was loving it. That may be over. That may be gone. You're going to have to participate legitimately, and this is where they want it. They don't want us to just, lazily just hold our, USDC or our stable coins and just get yield just for holding. They think that is not cool. I think it's really cool, but the banks don't like it. We're going to have to stake those stable coins, guys. We're going to have to go into some yield bearing situations the right way, as they put it. And I think Congress is all for this. They want us to stake. They want us to actually, do some work here, liquidity farming, things of that nature. Go into these decentralized protocols and get yield that way. Not only on stablecoins, but on tokens that are available. And kind of like Cosmos is, some other tokens that are wrapped up into these DeFi applications, like XRP. You can actually get yield off XRP now, off your RLUSD as well. But you have to stake it. So LMFG, let's go ahead and get into this, and then we'll get your take on this. Bitcoin, what you take, bro? We're back over 92. We're at those resistance levels again, up 2% within a 24-hour period. Let's go ahead and pop it up here. $93,000 Bitcoin. We were below 90K for some weeks. So we're back up here. We're looking right up on that resistance level. What's your take, bro? I didn't really think this was going to happen. I thought the CPI was going to be cooked. True inflation is way higher than what they're reporting, but this is what everybody's going on, those numbers, right? You know how I feel about the CPI. What's your take on the report? Inflation came in a whole lot cooler than expected. Me and you both know that's some BS, but let's just take it for granted. This is some of the reasons why you're seeing Bitcoin pump, along with massive well inflow as well. That kind of, ease the pain on the sell pressure. And then you have these bullish technicals on the chart as well. What's your take on this $93,000, bro?
Yeah, pretty wild. I just see, what was it, yesterday or Sunday? What you call it? Sailor just spent another 1.2 billion on Bitcoin.
Yep.
And that was at like you said, it was like 90 grand or something. And here we are at 93.5. Yeah. I don't know, man. I just don't know. And you see the stock market's crashing, so they're pulling out of the stock market and putting
exactly.
it in the Bitcoin. Yes.
Exactly. But
here comes the money printer.
Yeah, I don't know. They got to really. Well, here's the thing.
They're going to pencil in a quarter point, right?
You think so?
I bet. I got to check the poly market shit. But I bet a quarter point's going to. And what's it next week? I forget what day, the 18th or something.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know, man. I mean, they're putting a lot of pressure on Jerome Powell. He was on TV. He actually did a special announcement saying he was being harassed. Right? We may pull that up. That was extraordinary. Let me see if I have that. That was extraordinary. When I saw that, I was like, is that Jerome Powell? I couldn't believe he did this. This was on the Federal Reserve X page, right? It was about a minute and a half, and he actually did this. And he basically saying that they're going to indict me. I'm being held hostage. I'm being forced to do something that's going to cause hyperinflation. And then they give him these numbers. And, he's already said these numbers are crazy. The numbers are unreliable. He said this. Mr. Powell, actually, let's go to this. Because I thought this was unprecedented. And you're right, man. This particular situation that he's found himself in, with this particular, aggressiveness from the Trump administration, this may cause him to do something that may catastrophically hurt not only the dollar, but cause a free fall. And if you look at what's going on in the stock market right now, you just brought this up, and I need to cut this music down. You just brought this up, LMFG. It's crashing, not hard, but there's a huge pullout because smart money understands what's really going on. They know that CPI is a lie. They know the true inflation numbers, and they know what's about to happen if he does go down. I think you said a quarter, 25 basis points, maybe 50 if Trump gets his way.
Wow.
We're done. I mean, well, the dollar's done. So there's a lot of stuff going on, man. Let's go ahead and get into this because this is really crazy right here. I can't believe this is actually happening, man. I really can't. 2026, what a start of the year.
Today, the Department of Justice
hold on, pull this back.
Good evening.
Now, LMFG, before we get into this, I always tell you look at his eyes, right? I always tell you look at the mannerisms, because I'm real big on body language. Look at his body language, bro. I mean, he's been screaming this for months, but now he's like, you know what, guys? I'm under siege right now. Check it out.
Good evening. On Friday, the Department of Justice served the Federal Reserve with grand jury subpoenas, threatening a criminal indictment related to my testimony before the Senate Banking Committee last June. That testimony concerned in part a multi-year project to renovate historic Federal Reserve office buildings. I have deep respect for the rule of law and for accountability in our democracy. No one, certainly not the chair of the Federal Reserve, is above the law. But this unprecedented action should be seen in the broader context of the administration's threats and ongoing pressure. This new threat is not about my testimony last June or about the renovation of the Federal Reserve buildings. It is not about Congress's oversight role. The Fed, through testimony and other public disclosures, made every effort to keep Congress informed about the renovation project. Those are pretexts. The threat of criminal charges is a consequence of the Federal Reserve setting interest rates based on our best assessment of what will serve the public, rather than following the preferences of the president.
All right, so LMFG right there. Straight call out. He straight called Trump out, basically. It's not about the build. It's not about the renovations, right? Because we already, that was all debunked, right? They're on budget. This is about interest rates. This is about not getting to zero as fast as possible. You know, what you take so far, man, because this is a call out. This is a call for help. He's in distress. Look at those eyes, man. What do you think, man? This is pretty sad.
Yeah, I think it's pretty stupid of Trump doing this, you know. I don't know. I don't like it. I think you even got Diamond and Fink probably going to start talking about it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
You know, it'll be all over the headlines. And not a good look, man.
No, it's not. No, it's not. You know, like you were talking about Diamond, JP Morgan, and all these banks. These banks are screaming. They're cringing because this could send everything into a free fall. If this guy gets indicted, and what if he gets removed forcefully? That's a complete takeover of the Fed. And a lot of people are saying, this is impossible. This is going to affect Bitcoin, guys. This is going to affect investorship. It's going to affect the market in a whole, everything across the board. If there's a hostile takeover over the Fed, because you know where the rates are going. Trump wants 0%. This is what he's calling for, 0 or a really strong push all the way down to 1%. You know what they're going to do? They're going to print crazy. That's going to cause hyperinflation. So this is not good. This is not good. We actually should be going up on the rates. If you look at traditionally, and if you look at what really fixes these problems, if you look at history, usually the rate should be around 10% right now. And a lot of people don't understand that, but they're not. They're not. They should be even higher than that. Just trace it back in history. In order to fix problems like this, you go up, you don't go down. Going down, especially back to zero, exacerbates the issue. It makes it even worse. And then you have hyperinflation that kills the dollar, which is the dollar is already maimed. So, and that dollar is pegged to Bitcoin, guys. It's pegged to stable coins. Think about what we're doing here. So
this is about whether the Fed will be able to continue to set interest rates based on evidence and economic conditions, or whether instead monetary policy will be directed by political pressure or intimidation. I have served at the Federal Reserve under 4 administrations, Republicans and Democrats alike. In every case, I have carried out my duties without political fear or favor, focused solely on our mandate of price stability and maximum employment. Public service sometimes requires standing firm in the face of threats. I will continue to do the job the Senate confirmed me to do, with integrity and a commitment to serving the American people.
all right, so he's basically saying, you know what? Bring it on. Bring it on. This is what we're doing. Bring it on. So, you know, as we get back to Bitcoin, let's go ahead and get back to the top, because that type of rhetoric, that type of situation, what's going on, Reddit? Welcome to the show, bro. What is going on now? Obviously, we don't know the outcome. We don't know if it's just, you know, just a little saber rattling, you know, Trump trying to rattle, you know, Jerome Powell, like he said, into doing what he wants him to do. And that is to go damn near to zero interest rates. The banks do not want that. Trust me, that is horrible for the banks. They're already screaming. They're already trying to attack the yield, attacking DeFi, saying it's gonna affect lending, which is crazy that they're saying that. We're gonna get to why they're saying that as well. But LMFG, Bitcoin continues to pump. It is south of $94,000. Now, a lot of this is well in flow. Crypto ETFs, although BlackRock is selling a lot of Bitcoin, you have institutional whales that are buying a lot of Bitcoin, especially within the last 2 hours. But as you mentioned, and let's go to this, as you mentioned, the stock market is bleeding. So I've never seen this before. You have the S&P, you have Dow Jones, you have NASDAQ, all down within the last couple of hours. Something has spooked the stock market, but at the same time, you see a lot of this money going into Bitcoin. What is going on, bro?
And oil going up.
Exactly. What the hell is going on? You got Brent and you got WTI just south of $70. We need Brent to get to $70. $61 for the crude oil WTI. Both of these are up, like you said. Natural gas up, right? Silver almost $90. That is the weird situation there. You have silver almost $90. Gold is almost back up to $4,700. You see Bitcoin pumping. Crude oil trying to get back to $70. But then the S&P, Dow, and NASDAQ they're crashing. Not hard, but the trajectory is negative, right? This is weird, bro. This is very weird. So I don't really know how to call this. This is unprecedented times right now. And what's going on with Trump, especially with the CPI report, which is really, really false, guys. True inflation. You can look this up. It's way higher than what their report is. So, it is what it is. But this is affecting. It's got everybody going crazy when it comes to where they want to put their money. And as you can see, the stock market, people are moving out. Mag 7 is kind of a neutral at this point in time. With AMD up a lot, bro. I don't know what's going on with AMD. I got to look into that, but they're up almost 7%. So it's interesting. It's futures are even down too as well. And that could fluctuate. But as we move back to Bitcoin, because we got to get to the Clarity Act, I have to tell you, we may hit $94,000 within this broadcast. We're up almost 3% within a 24-hour period. What is going on? Because the three actual, aspects of this pump, you have bullish chart metrics. We're about to shatter that resistance. You have a massive whale inflow into Bitcoin within the last 3 to 4 hours. Okay. And then you have this bullish CPI. Well, I guess we could call it bullish because people are believing it. But when the rubber meets the road and when everything settles down, do we hold at 94,000 LMFG? Because when the truth comes out, we may go back down to 90 because we all know what true inflation is. We know those rates are way higher. So this is a fictitious pump, LMFG. Is this hope? I don't know, bro. But what I'm looking at, there's a lot of divergence here when it comes to correlated values, especially with tech versus Bitcoin. Now, as we move back, let's see how this is affecting alts, because the alts are starting to move too as well. Ethereum, $3,200. It's still down within the week, but it's up 3%. A lot of the altcoins have pumped within the last 24 hours, guys. So LMFG, I don't know how you feeling about this altcoin situation. Do you think it's going to be a lasting? Is this going to affect alts? Because they are pumping. You have those OG protocols, which were banned in the EU recently, just a couple of days ago. Monero, Zcash, those are completely banned. But Monero is up almost 50%, bro. Pushing $700 since the Zcash debacle, which is down 20% within the 7-day period since the that explosion that happened within that dev team. When you're looking at the altcoins, LMFG, are you cautiously bullish like I am?
Yes, 100%. And like I keep saying, man, once this Clarity Act gets through, I think they're supposed to do a vote on it this week, a preliminary.
Well, we're about to segue into that because we got the markup, but I mean, it's Elizabeth's back, she's back on the floor. She's back screaming at everybody because she wants the DeFi provisions, but as we will get into, DeFi won big on this markup. Now, especially self-custody, which is great, but stablecoin yield, not so much, especially how we like to get it, LMFG. I don't think it's going to make it. The banks are going to win there, but these alts, they scare me because a lot of people are going to jump into these alts. And I don't think it's a good idea to do it at this point in time. I think it was a great idea to do it 2 weeks ago when they were bottoming out. No, we didn't see all-time lows, but we did see a pretty good dip. You know what I'm saying?
Even you look at it, December 15th, that was the day I was telling everybody, it was your time. We were fear and greed was down to like 16.
That's when you buy.
Now they start calling me. Oh, what should I get? What should I get? The stuff I told you last month.
That's when you buy. When you have those meters down, it's neutral now. It's set at neutral.
I always watch that fear and greed, and if you go and look at the charts, and when that fear is really low, it's real strong on the fear side, around in that 20 area, you see the prices, they're down. When it goes up, when that greed goes up, the prices go up. It's that simple.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend to buy now. Most definitely would not recommend to buy now. That's just me. You might get caught in a trap here because I think a lot of this is going to correct in a couple of days. As far as Bitcoin, now we'll get to the Clarity Act in a minute because that's really going to dictate where all these alts go. Because we really need those altcoin ETFs. We were supposed to have that in December. Those approvals of all those magnificent baskets. We did get the actual staking added to the ETFs. I believe Ethereum ETFs are stakeable across the board. I think you're getting a stakeable XRP ETF as well. But there are so many altcoins, which we're going to go through right now, that are missing right now in this particular field. And once they do fall into play, then you're going to see that altcoin season that everybody's been waiting on, and it's going to be way different. It's not going to be a traditional pump. This is going to be a sustainable pump, and all of these altcoins are going to be stakeable within these ETF vehicles. So we have pretty decent lockups right now when it comes to staking pools with these alts, but we're going to be able to compound that with an ETF that's going to be stakeable as well. So it's going to be additional lockups of a lot of these altcoins, which is going to really, really be a nice sentiment when it comes to the movement. I think it's going to stabilize a lot. A lot of the volatility is going to go away once we get these the altcoin ETF baskets fully deployed, get them locked up. You're going to see a different floor in a lot of these, maybe even some new ATHs. So, but they're pumping. Again, Ethereum, which there were some weird reports coming out. Vitalik was really screaming about potential, roadblocks when it comes to Ethereum. This is coming from Vitalik. We may get into that in a little bit. It's at $3,200. BNB is almost back up to 1,000, up across the freaking board. That ETF is going to be bonkers. If they do allow it, it's going to be crazy. That's probably going to put BNB up in the $2,000 range once that thing hits the ground running. XRP back over $2. It is down. A lot of selling over the last couple of weeks. XRP, LMFG. What's going on with that, man? I'm not really understanding that, especially when you can stake this thing. I don't get it. I don't know. But with that being said, Solana, $143 up across the board, almost back to 150. Solana, now under the new markup, LMFG, which we'll get to this, Solana is going to be treated, and there's some other ones too, they're going to be treated like Bitcoin and Ethereum, bro. They're going to be categorized as if they were Bitcoin and Ethereum. Solana is going to be in this realm alone. And there's some other ones too we'll get into under this new markup, under the new language. That could be extremely bullish for Solana. We may be talking about $500 Solana price soon, which, will put this price at a pretty good buy-in if you are rolling with the high rollers. So it's currently up almost 5% within a week. Tron, 30 cents. It's up over 29 cents. So that's pretty decent. A lot of Tron stablecoins were locked up. USDT linked stablecoins on the Tron network were, I think $200 million LMFG was basically seized and locked up. So I don't know what's going on with Tron, with that stablecoin arena right there with the USDT, but I don't know who they were. It's probably some money laundering going on. We already know it is. It is Tron, but that was a lot of money that was locked up, bro, recently. So I've been looking into that. It's pretty interesting. Dogecoin 14 cents. Cardano /night. That's what I like to call it. Cardano /midnight. It is 40 cents, guys. Monero, I told you, just kicking butt right now. Bitcoin Cash back over $500. Man, I wish I would have got that. My boy Jay told me to buy that when it was $210, and I should have bought it because it is almost back up to $700. Bitcoin Cash. Crazy movement there. Chainlink $13 up within the last 24 hours, 4%, guys. So all these alts are starting to pump. It is not all season, but they're moving with Bitcoin. Stellar is pumping too as well, almost 24 cents. Suchain almost back up to $2. Hyperliquid almost back to $25 as well. Zcash, yikes. I hope you guys took your profit. I pray everybody took Zcash profits when it was at $700, because it is down 20% and it is below $400. So if, hopefully you took your profit. You can't hold these things too long, LMFG. You can't hold too long, especially when you're in a volatile situation. So AVAX, $14, and we'll round it up with Litecoin and Canton, which is 14. Everybody jumped on the Canton situation because it's going to be used for payments. I forgot the government entity that's going to be leveraging this technology, but it's going to be a pretty big deal with a market cap of 5.4 billion. It's going to be a pretty big deal. So hand clap for the pump. Not too bad. TVL report coming up, because TVL, listen, I was mentioning this earlier. $131 billion LMFG stablecoin activity is down just a little bit, but we're looking at massive movement back up. We're even right now, but when it comes to global TVO, it's not so bad. LMFG, we did see lending kind of percolate back up. It took a hit. Are you partaking, bro? Because I know we talk about consolidation, and basically consolidating portfolios during volatile moments, getting yield. As far as TVO, as far as decentralized finance TVO across the board, multiple blockchains, nothing seems to stop this from going. And I think this is why the banks are so afraid of DeFi, even in the lowest of the lows. DeFi's still pumping. It's still moving. It's like an unstoppable machine. What's your take on this resilience when it comes to DeFi?
Yeah, well, I mean, like I always said, follow the money, right? The DeFi stuff is where it's really advantageous for the people, by the people. This is the shit that the banks don't like,
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
You look throughout the world, other countries, this stuff has been running like crazy. I mean, you look at Abu Dhabi, you know what I mean? That's where everybody's going, right? Who was it that just signed up over there? I know Ripple's in there, Cardano, a lot of them. And I'll tell you, if Hoskinson is right and they don't get that Clarity Act until it's 29, I mean, that's I don't see that at all. But I would threaten, if I was Ripple, just get the hell out of the United States. Close to San Francisco.
Really?
So many countries have offered them so much money, and I bet that would. I don't know. I don't know what it would do.
Wow.
Yeah, wouldn't that be heavy duty?
That would. It would.
Barlinghouse threatened that a couple of years ago during the lawsuit. He said, if this continues, we might just move the hell out of the United States. And that's when all those countries offered them all. They gave them free office buildings, tax breaks, whatever, just to go there. Because they're based out of San Fran.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But yeah.
Well, maybe if he threatens it again, maybe get these politicians off their ass and do something.
Yeah. He said he was never going to Washington again. You saw that, what was it, an hour stream he did? And he said after what he saw, he's never going to Washington again. He's lost complete faith.
Like with Hoskinson. That's why he's saying 29. Mm-hmm. So he said there were a bunch of assholes over there.
Oh my God.
And Hoskinson spent millions of dollars over the years lobbying over there.
Jesus, it's crazy. Let's go ahead and get into this. This is what Hoskinson said, and then we're going to get into this Clarity Act situation. This is what he said.
It'll be by the skin of its teeth. And the problem is it's a midterm, so nothing gets.
And see, there's that midterm term. Everybody's like midterm. That is a hot topic, bro. And, it could turn around everything. Listen to what he said about the Clarity Act, and we'll get into what happened.
I don't honestly believe it's going to pass in Q1. And if it does, it'll be by the skin of its teeth. And the problem is it's a midterm. So nothing gets done in a midterm election. It's very polarizing. How could the Democrats be like crypto equals Trump equals bad, but we're just going to go vote for this bipartisan crypto framework and give Trump credit for regulating crypto? They're just not going to do it. They're going to go hardcore Gary Gensler because that's their talking point to win re-election or to win election. So we lost our window, and I'm very pessimistic that we're going to be able to get it back until probably 2029.
Yikes.
Next window for that.
So we lost. Listen, LMFG, that really bummed me out. That was so. When I saw this, I was like, man, this is so bearish. I can't believe he said this out loud. But he's right. I mean, the window of opportunity we did miss out on that, right? What you take, man? What you take on what he said? I don't know.
Yeah, I just hope he's wrong. That's all. Trying to be optimistic, but it's crazy because it is all for the people, man. And Democrats can take credit for this as well.
Yep. No, I get you. Yeah, it's crazy. Let's get to this clarity. Let's get to what he's talking about, because this is what's going on. And then we'll get into what is actually, everybody's pretty bullish about it. We'll get into what they've changed, because they even want to bring back the Genius Act too and pump some amendments into that, because they're saying they left a big time gap when it comes to, regulating DeFi, which I good luck with that. You know what I mean? Good luck with that. Let's get to this. So here it is. Now, the United States Senate could wipe out $6 billion in crypto rewards this week by closing a specific loophole. $6 billion worth of crypto rewards. And I've been enjoying these rewards for over 2 years. I've been loving it. This is a sad day, because I think this actually happened. I'm very sad to see this, but it is what it is. I'll just stay, but it's okay. It's all right. But I love the fact that I was able to just hold. I didn't have to put it in a protocol. I didn't have to risk a back door being opened and everything being liquidated. Like a lot of, we see this. Actually, it was 3 actual platforms that were hacked today. So this is interesting. Now, banks want to eliminate the affiliate loophole. They want to completely close this. And this is why we have these language on hold right now. Exchanges say this, and it will turn lawful loyalty incentives into a illegal and run overnight. So they're trying to really shut this. And we're not talking about a buffer for maybe 2 or 3 years so everybody can get used to it and get ready. No, they want this, as soon as this is passed, they want it done the next day. They want it deemed illegal the next freaking day. And Trump, this is how he works. This is how he moves. When he signs executive orders, there's no buffer. It goes in the next day. It goes into effect the next day, which I like that. But at this point, I think they need to really think about what they're doing. Now, the Genius Act ban issue. I want you guys to understand what's going on here. We'll get into this, and then we'll get into the markup as well. The Genius Act ban issuer paid yield, like you see on Coinbase. But the Senate markup fight is whether exchanges can keep rerouting or routing rewards around that restriction. So what you're seeing going on Coinbase is a loophole being used. Instead of it being called yield, it's called a reward. Now, this could decide who controls these $6 billion worth of actual incentives that are actually at play right now. And I got to tell you, Coinbase is reaping the benefits. That revenue that they're receiving off this is tremendous. And it's about to go away. What LMFG, what happens to Coinbase, man? What happens to that stock if this goes through? Because there's, when it comes to the Coinbase stock, those shareholders, they see revenue. That's all they're worried about is revenue. Is Coinbase making money? Are we making exposure moves? This could really hurt that shareholders price. I don't know. What you take before we get into this?
Yeah, what are they going to do? The board members ain't going to like that, man.
No, because they're all about money.
A lot of people keep forgetting that Coinbase is public now. So, we'll see. It's crazy.
No, it is. Does it affect the platform's initiatives too as well? That's another thing, because they've listed a ton of altcoins within the last 6 months. Does that affect that? Because they've been moving pretty quick. Does it affect the what was the new what is it? The early access platform that Monad came up with? Does that go away? I don't know. let's get into this. Senate Banking Committee is scheduled to consider the Clarity Act on the 15th. So there you go, LMFG. We're talking about this. It's going to be January the 15th. This is when this actually gets voted on. And the legislative fight has narrowed to a single question with billion-dollar consequences. What counts as a stablecoin reward and who's allowed to actually pay it? This is interesting. Bloomberg reported that Coinbase may reconsider its support for Clarity if the bill language moves beyond disclosure requirements to outright restrict rewards. And single that the industry's pro-crypto coalition is testing its own limits as regulatory text gets more specific. We're going to get into the specifics. Better make sense. Who loves you and who do you love? Donald Trump. We got Donald Trump in there. Let's get into it. Bloomberg also reported some more things as well. The backdrop is straightforward. Genius Act. Let's get into this, which is now public, but being amended as well. It established a payment stablecoin framework and included the issuer level prohibition. And basically that says Circle and USD, Circle and Paxos essentially cannot give yield. It has to be a third party situation. The issuers of these stablecoins cannot directly give yield to the holders. Now, here's a loophole. This permitted stablecoin issuers, basically they cannot pay holders interest or yield solely for holding, using or retaining the stablecoin. We're talking the issuers, Circle, Paxos, these guys, they can't do it, but Coinbase can under the loophole. The logic was clear, as payment stablecoins should function as money and only money, not deposit substitutes, competing with regulated banks. But Genius left this open. This is a question. What do they do now? Because as a platform or exchanges or affiliates, they can offer the rewards, guys. And they can fund it from their own revenue or structured as loyalty incentives rather than direct yield pass through. So this is what Coinbase has been doing. Their reward system was funded and it was spearheaded clearly from their revenue or their incentives that was given. So this is rerouted, kind of like your credit card points that you get. Those points are facilitated by large account holders. The revenue gain from that situation, which may go away if Trump gets his way with his 10% rate cap. LMFG, that's crazy. We didn't even talk about that. That's an interesting situation too. Here's the clarity now. Clarity is where the enforcement parameters get defined and the markup will reveal. We're talking about the Clarity Act, which will clear up what the actual Genius Act basically muddled up and, created these muddy waters, right? In these loopholes. This markup, which was revealed today, basically treats the issuer ban as a narrow firewall. So the actual issuers being banned from actually, giving you on their own vehicle, that's still going to stand. But there are going to be some broader prohibitions, and here they are. So here's the definitions, and we'll get into another, excerpt of this as well. The three archetypes of stablecoin rewards exist in the market today. The lawmakers are implicitly choosing which ones survive. Now, the first one is going to be It's going to be issuer paid yield, where the stablecoin issuer shares reserve income directly with holders. Genius was designed to block this, the Genius Act. And no one disputes this particular restriction. We're talking about, again, Circle and Paxos, which those are the ones that have essentially deployed and actually created the stablecoins. They can't touch yield. They can't. All I can do is deploy them, and you have these exchanges that actually uses them for exchange of medium, things of that nature. They go into these third-party, atmospheres. But as far as Circle and USD and Paxos, they can't touch the yield part of these situations. Now, second archetype is going to be the platform funded loyalty, where an exchange or a wallet pays rewards from its own margin or marketing budget to drive adoption or retain balances. Okay. Essentially Coinbase. Now, the third archetype is pass-through T-bill economics, where product design effectively routes reserve yields to users through affiliate structures, partner arrangements, or carefully layered incentive programs that claim independence from the issuer. So again, this is the only way that this can be done under the Genius Act. It has to be a third party situation. And that's, Coinbase, i.e. Coinbase or a decentralized financial application like Morpho, things of that nature. This is how you can get it. Right. Now, the legislative knife edge is where Clarity treats rewards as a disclosure only issue or imposes substantive restrictions. No. So if the Senate text lands as or at disclosure only, exchanges can plausibly keep rewards alive as consumer incentives, disclosed but unrestricted. So if the language tightens into limits, caps, and conditions, which is what they have done, then the economics of USDC distribution and on platform stablecoin balances will change entirely. So this is what we have here. So this is what the banks are lobbying hard for, LMFG. Banks want the affiliates and partner loopholes closed completely. The American Banker Association and 52 state bankers associations explicitly urged Congress, and they reiterated that today, to clarify that the GN's prohibition should extend to partners and affiliates like Coinbase, warning of deposit disintermediations, and yield-like incentives that pass or bypass the issuer ban. So they want what Coinbase is doing, essentially, to be shut down. There are a lot of other exchanges that are doing this as well. So this is what the banks basically want. Now, we did get a win. We got a huge DeFi win with the markup. But I will tell you this. 2029, I don't think so. But I don't think it's going to pass this year. Because we did get Elizabeth Warren. She did make an appearance. She's going for heavy decentralized finance regulation. I don't think you can do that. But this may put a kink in it. I'm not saying 2029 like Charles Hoskinson. But I think LMFG is going to put a large monkey wrench into the gears. It's going to stop everything in its course. And then when we get to midterms, like Charles said, nothing is going to happen. Okay. So if we come out of midterms the wrong way, on the wrong side of the hill, we may never get legislation. And this is why Charles is saying 2029-ish is when we'll probably see some movement. What does this space look like in 2029? I don't know, but let's continue. Now, Bankaline commenters responding to the Treasury's genius implementations, notice, went way further than this, arguing that the benefits provided directly or indirectly should fall within the prohibition. Their concerns is structural. If platforms can offer rewards that function economically like yield, the issuer ban becomes theater with the real competition for deposits happening on one layer removed. Now, the crypto industry argues that Congress deliberately distinguished between issuers' paid yield and platform rewards, respectively. Now, the Blockchain Association chimed into as well. They basically argue that the laws ban issuer paid yield while preserving the ability of platforms and third party to offer lawful rewards and incentives. So they warn also that expanding the ban, which moving the, this is what the Clarity Act is about, expanding this particular ban on platforms like Coinbase to issue, rewards. This would inject uncertainty early in implementation and penalize exchanges across the board for using their own capital to drive adoption. And mind you, Coinbase uses its own revenue for this, but they generate a lot too as well on the back end. So Coinbase's economic exposure makes this more than posturing. The company reported listen to this, LMFG, and listen to this, guys. Coinbase reported $355 million in stablecoin revenue within the third quarter of 2025 and described rewards as a driver of USDC growth, with average USDC balances in Coinbase products around $15 billion during that quarter. LMFG, they have a lot. We talked about this just a second ago. Coinbase has a lot to lose, bro. And it's kind of like they're actually targeting Coinbase. There's other platforms, but it seems like this is a direct hit at Brian Armstrong's crypto movement, because he's been very boisterous. He's been in Washington multiple times. He's talked to Trump. Trump has mentioned him. He's been outspoken. He's been a leader when it comes to, fighting the fight, essentially. He's all on X with this. Are they targeted? Is this a witch hunt for Coinbase? I don't know.
It sure seems like it, huh? Yeah, but I'm telling you, it's just the banks. They don't want to lose that money, Because if they're paying 4% and you stake and get 6-8% interest, the banks will not be able to compete with that.
No, absolutely.
The banks need to change.
Let's see if we can get back on. Okay, there, we're back. I think we're back.
Yeah, I've seen it.
All right, I think we went down for a little bit, guys. Hopefully, let me know if you can actually see us again. We kind of went down. had a crash there. Little client, streaming client. So let me know if you guys can see us in the chat there. Hopefully, what are you getting feed? LMFG, did we get back live? Not sure.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure what happened there. But let's go ahead and move to yeah, we had to shut down there. Let's go ahead and move to this real quick because we want to get this breakdown of what's going on. Now, as far as the update, Senate Banking Committee Chairman, this is Senator Tim Scott. He released a little report on this as well. And this is what was gained and this is what was lost. Hopefully we still got the same stream. Hopefully it didn't move us to a different stream. Hopefully everybody's still on the same one. I believe we're still on the same one.
Yeah, because I didn't refresh or anything.
Okay, good. So we're still on the Clarity Act. Now we're going to get into some nuances of it because this is what happened. All right, so let's get into this now. We talked about the loss, and this is going to be the passive yield for the stablecoins when it comes to that loophole. When it comes to, and this is how it happened. This is what they got rid of, just to put it, very, very simply. Let's say you sign up for Coinbase and you got some USDC, right? You converted maybe $20,000 into USDC and you wanted to get more yield. You got tired of getting that 1%, that 0.2% that you get in these credit unions. You want some real yield, you want 4.9, 5%, right? So you see it on Coinbase, and this is what it says on Coinbase. All you have to do is hold. All you have to do is hold the USDC. Just convert your fiat to USDC and don't touch it. And your rewards kick in overnight. And you're going to get this disbursement regularly until you move out. That's pretty easy to do. There's no staking. There's no moving into a specific protocol. There's no lockup, right? This is what the banks don't like. This is what they're trying to get, away from. So that is gone under this new markup. Currently, that is what's gone across the board. And that sucks because you can't get that yield in a bank and they know it. And this is what the banks can't compete with. They make you go through all these loopholes to get this particular yield. You don't have to with Coinbase. You don't have to with other exchanges. All you have to do is convert your fiat to USDC and hold. Don't move it. And you're getting 4.9% APY. It's crazy. They don't like it. So passive yield for stablecoins is gone under this markup. Now, the Act defines custodial and ancillary staking services, unquote, as a recognized activity. It distinguishes these services as administrative or ministerial in nature, unquote, allowing registered intermediaries to facilitate staking for customers, unquote. So what we have is that very, very easy way of doing it, i.e. Coinbase, with just holding, converting to USDC and holding, right? The only thing that you're going to be able to do under this law, you'll still be able to get yield, but you're going to have to actually stake it. You're going to have to lock it up. You're going to have to actually go into the protocols, maybe convert that said token into a synthetic situation, and you get your ticket and then you stake, and then you have to lock up for 30 days. They don't like dynamic staking. They want you to at least have a 30-day lockup, right? It's got to be done within a custodial, atmosphere like your MetaMask or your Tangent or your Ledger wallet, things of that nature. MetaMask offers a ETH staking. All you have to do is hold ETH in a MetaMask, and you get that. But it's in a custodial environment. This is what they want, right? It's interesting, LMFG. Now, the Act requires that customer assets be segregated as well. This is the new provisions within the Clarity Act. They want all the customer assets segregated and not actually commingling with the platform's own funds. I like that, LMFG. I like that part about it. Although they may be pooled with other customer funds for convenience, i.e. in ambiguous accounts or things of that nature. So this is something that I like. I don't know how you feel about this, but I like the fact that they want these assets segregated because a lot of the platforms have all of this in one pool. So if something gets hacked, everybody's money's gone, right? So what's your take on that? I know we're going to miss the passive yield for our stablecoins. We're going to have to start staking our stablecoins and protocols, locking them up, unfortunately. when it comes to the commingling of the assets, it's going to be law that you're going to have to segregate those assets, put the customer assets in a different pool so they can be secured. Do you agree with this?
Yeah, just I don't know how this is going to roll, but again, I think the staking, like you said, with the ETFs, staking the ETFs and ETF funds in crypto, that's where I can see this going.
Yeah.
And then Coinbase will have to become a bank. Ripple's setting themselves up for it, and you got the Fidelities and BlackRocks and all of them already all getting lined up for it. So, because again, insurance people, you see crypto insurance companies popping up now. So we'll see what happens.
It's interesting that all of even World Liberty Finance, they're going to be a bank. Did you see that news? They're filing for their bank charter too, so they're going to be a bank too.
Yep.
So,
Smart.
yeah, absolutely. Well, they have the jump on it. They know the news. They know what's going on. And it's funny that you've seen all these large movements into a bank territory, to becoming a bank, trying to establish that identity, that infrastructure. You've seen a lot of that lately. Now we know why. It's going to be required. These institutions. Now, as far as DeFi, they excluded DeFi, which is great. But Senator Warren actually wanted the DeFi to follow these rules as well, which is impossible. A lot of these apps are code. They're autonomous. So let's get into this now. Status quo, AML and KYC. We're talking anti-money laundering activity. This particular protocol, along with KYC, is going to be very strict for intermediaries, exchanges, and brokers. LMFG. They must comply with AML and KYC, basically the Bank Secrecy Act. They're going to have to comply. And we're talking about exchanges and brokers. They're going to have to perform KYC and monitor for illicit finance activities. So the broker thing is very interesting.
1099 DAs coming at you.
Absolutely. This whole space is about to change, guys. When I told you guys this space is about to be constricted, it's about to get very, very small. It is about to change. It's going to move really slow too as well. It's not going to be as volatile once all this goes through. I was not joking with you. This is real. This is real. This is what's happening. Now, here's a win for self-custody too as well. Right to self-custody, sections 105C within the language. And I'm going to link this PDF too in a little bit in the actual chat so you guys can pull this PDF up. This is the little synopsis of it. It explicitly states that the United States individual shall retain the right to maintain a hardware wallet or software wallet, doesn't matter, for the purpose of facilitating their own lawful custody of digital assets. I love this. This is going to be law. This is a huge win for self-custody. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love this. Here's another thing. Protection of peer-to-peer transactions. Absolutely love this as well. The same section guarantees the right to engage in direct peer-to-peer transactions, unquote. This is good for the Pure Wallet too. That particular wallet I was telling you guys about, the Pure Wallet, it is a beast when it comes to offline transactions. It just got clear approval to go forward with that initiative. And I'm going to read this again. Protection of peer-to-peer transactions. The same section guarantees the right to engage in direct peer-to-peer transactions on or offline with other individuals using self-custody wallets without reliance on financial intermediaries. So this is a big time win for self-custody in this language. We need this passed. We need this passed immediately. Now, protection for wallet developers as well. It's going to be in section 109. Prohibits classifying non-controlling blockchain developers. And we're talking about the guys that have that code again, that autonomous code. They're going to be protected, right? So the Samurai devs are going to be probably, Trump is probably going to give them some type of clemency pretty soon. I wonder if they got to pay that money back too, that Congress already sold. Remember that Bitcoin we were talking about that got cashed out in the reserve? That was linked to the Samurai wallet case. Do they get refunded that money? I don't know. We'll see. Under the Clemency Act, we'll see. So let's get back into this. So the actual developers and the providers of hardware or software wallet technology or decentralized application technology that facilitate customer-owned custody or operate as money transmitters, i.e. Ledger, Tangent, MetaMask, things of that nature, Phantom or whatever, This prevents them from being regulated as a financial institution solely for writing code. So those decentralized applications, those autonomous vehicles that operate in DeFi autonomously, those devs that built those particular autonomous devices, they're not going to be held liable if something goes wrong. LMFG, that's good and bad. Yeah, that's good and bad. It's a protection for the devs, especially when they're, launching these autonomous vehicles for decentralized and money transmitting. I mean, who's check? I don't know, bro. I mean, so we're saying these are just going to be willy nilly, just wild west, no backdrop of oversight. I don't know what they're really doing here. I kind of like this, but then I don't. I don't think a dev that has deployed an autonomous product that's clearly being run by code, if something does happen, I don't know, bro. I'm so torn on this. Do you think the dev should be held responsible for autonomous code? What do you think? What's your take?
Yeah, it's a hard one, who's checking the checker kind of thing, I don't know.
It's a tough one.
And again, this is stuff that once these things get in law, they're going to be tweaked over the years.
Yeah, that's a tough one. But, as far as the markup, this is going to go, I think this is really going to go into law. They might sneak this through because the bank got what they wanted with a passive yield. They may sneak this through. And if this goes through, this is going to be bullish for a lot of these platforms, especially the devs, because they don't have anything to worry about after this at all. They're going to be completely, protected from any type of legal situations or anything with these self-deployed autonomous products in DeFi, especially the wallet holders, because MetaMask is brought up on some pretty interesting charges as well. A lawsuit filed against MetaMask. I don't think that went through. In fact, it's going to be dropped probably after this passes. So, interesting. So here's another win. The act seeks to protect decentralized crypto by creating specific exclusions that prevent DeFi protocols and developers from being regulated as centralized exchanges and brokers as well. DeFi exclusions from SEC regulation section 309 explicitly state that a person shall not be subject to the Securities and Exchange Act solely for activities like developing or publishing a decentralized finance trading protocol, providing user interface front ends for blockchain systems, validating transactions, or operating nodes. This is a big win for validators too as well, man. The impact on a customer using DeFi products and protocols is generally protective, explicitly shielding individual users and software developers from the strict regulations applied to centralized exchanges like Coinbase. So DeFi won big right here, bro. Big. This is that big time DeFi win I was talking about. Now, for consumers, the act established a legal safe harbor to continue using DeFi without forced intermediaries or forced into centralized rails, though it does not provide immunity for illicit financial activity. So we're talking about a 60 to 70% chance of passage here. Pretty high. So they're saying in 2026, sometime Q2, we're probably going to get passage of this. Now, they're going to have to strip out the anti-CBDC ban. And I want to talk about this because we've already discussed this, LMFG, about the CBDC situation and about what Trump said in the Bitcoin convention when it comes to banning CBDCs. He didn't like CBDCs. We're never going to have a CBDC. They're about to strip that anti-CBDC ban out of the language. What's your take on that? Because this is a big time reversal. And I've always said that basically under the Genius Act, these stablecoins are glorified CBDCs. Look at what just happened here. They're about to completely take out the anti-CBDC ban. They're going to add concessions to banks regarding stablecoin reserves as well. What's your take? Because this is about to go through. We will have access. You're going to see a free, clear, and present pathway for CBDCs, bro, when they do this.
Yeah, and then they'll lobby up to say, okay, yeah, you can give interest.
You're probably right. You're probably right on that. Yeah, you're probably right.
And isn't
Morgan, it's crazy.
Isn't JP Morgan working on their own chain right now?
Yeah, well, it's been deployed for like 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just in the little beta. Yeah. Boy. Oh, I have the tides turned. This is very crazy. Bitcoin is over $94,000. I told you guys we're going to do it during the broadcast. I told you. It's pushing 95, bro. So we're blasting through that resistance. Killer moves with Bitcoin. This is beautiful. Let's go ahead and check the. I want to check the dashboard here and give me a overview because I want to look at the RSI real quick. Where's the RSI? I want to see what's going on there. This is interesting because you have the global market cap marching up to around 3.22 as well. The Altcoin season index is moving towards neutral. You know, I'm not going to call. A lot of people are going to be calling Altseason. Stop it. We're not in Altseason yet. We got to get those altcoin ETFs deployed. Then we'll get there. You have some pretty good crypto ETF inflow as well, especially with Bitcoin. Well over 500 million. Pretty decent, but at the same time, the stock market continues to crash. And I'm not talking about Black Monday, but it is moving in the wrong direction. So there's an interesting divergence here when it comes to cryptocurrency space and stocks. Usually the stocks are beaming when you see Bitcoin doing what it's doing, but all the indicators are pointing towards massive movement, you know, going. I'm trying to get the RSI. Where is the RSI? I wanted to look at that and see what's going on there. What'd you take, bro? Massive movement, massive altcoin movement, fear and greed index moving towards a neutral. We still have pretty decent Bitcoin, dominance. So we're not necessarily talking about altcoin season breaking out, but are you bullish? I'm cautiously bullish. I'm not going to call it altcoin season. I'm never going to do that. Probably never this year, but it's looking good, LMFG. What's your take, bro?
Yeah. Like it always happens. It trickles once Bitcoin takes off. It always trickles to the alts even a little bit, you know. So all good. And like you said, I'm cautiously bullish as well.
Yeah.
I hope these acts get passed. They gotta say screw the banks. This shit's for the people, man. Yeah. Politicians, they're for us, and are obviously not.
Yeah. You got a couple of token unlocks, pretty big ones. You got the C chain. It's going to be unlocking well over $15 million of tokens tomorrow, and then you have Pump.Fun. They've been unlocking a lot of tokens lately. In 3 hours, they're going to be unlocking around $26 million worth of tokens. Those Pump guys are so loaded. Those guys are so loaded, bro. I don't know. Hopefully, they're stashing away a legal fund because let me tell you, it doesn't look too good for those guys going into third quarter. They may be in court over some crazy money. So the RSI pushing 60 almost. We are almost in overbought territory. So LMFG, there's a lot of buying, brother, that is going on in the space right now. A lot of people are buying crypto right now. The stock market bleeding. Or are we seeing stock funds coming into cryptocurrency? Or are we seeing, because we see the precious metals are pumping too as well. Are we seeing this mass exodus in the stock market? We don't know why. It could be because a lot of the smart money knows the CPI report was bogus. And the assault on the Fed when it comes to Jerome Powell coming out basically screaming, they're coming for me. Is that the reason why the stocks are migrating to crypto? Because it's clear. Stock money is coming into the cryptocurrency space. Stock money is going into Bitcoin as we speak very, very quickly. We're almost in overbought territory right now, guys. LMFG, this is very strange, bro. I know we got geopolitics that are all over the place too as well. What you take, bro?
Yeah, it's I do think that has a lot to do with it. Like you're saying, they know that the CPI numbers, this is all bogus. And we'll see. I don't know. And it makes sense when that market's going down like that and all of a sudden Bitcoin's bouncing up. You got to check the ETFs inflows, Yeah,
Bitcoin is pumping, bro. Bitcoin is pumping hard. And we had some, I think we got some breaking news here too as well. We have a lot going on, guys. So, I mean, it's good. Honestly, if you bought a couple of weeks ago, you're looking good. You're probably cashing out because you're making moves right now. A lot of things are actually going on here. I think this is fake news. I'm not even going to say this. I'm not even going to go here. It looks real, but I'm not. I think there's a lot of fake news going on here. This can't be true. But anyway, Yeah, you mentioned the new tax form. And this is crazy, bro. So, yeah, I'm not saying anything else. One thing that I will tell you guys as we look back at the stock market, before we get to the member giveaway, we're looking at these commodities now. LMFG, $4,600 gold, $87 silver. Copper's at $6, bro. What the hell is going on, man? This is crazy season right now. S&P Dow, NASDAQ down, continuing to go down. There's some buying, but it continues to have major sell pressure. And then you come over here and you look at Bitcoin. It's pumping like crazy. It's going bonkers. Look at this. So we're definitely, if this continues, we're going to $95,000. Okay. Massive ETF inflow. I just looked at the Arkham. All right. So institutional buyership is crazy right now in Bitcoin. It's not just the exchanges, although Binance, Crypto.com, Coinbase, the major exchanges, they are purchasing as well. But there's a lot of outflow too as well. But when it comes to ETFs, off the charts right now. When it comes to institutional buyership like Sailor, things of this nature, off the charts. Big time buy, big time money going into Bitcoin. And as you can see, this is filtering into the altcoins as well. Lots of altcoins within the last 24 hours are up almost double-digit percentages. So if this continues, barring anything weird that may happen this week, we could probably get really close to $97,000. This is where the trajectory is taking us. Now, I don't know if we're going to fall into a trap Wednesday or Thursday or Friday, perhaps. We don't know what's going to happen in Venezuela. We really don't know what's going to happen with the Fed on the 15th. Okay. Was it 18th? LMFG, I think it was the 18th. You mentioned earlier.
Yeah, I'm not positive. I think next Thursday or something. I'll go check it.
Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen. Jerome, I don't think he's going to raise the rates, and I definitely do not think he's going to. I think he's pissed right now, and I think he's going to rebel because he's been put in the limelight and he's being attacked. So I think he's going to rebel. So he's not going to go up because that could be detrimental. That may be not. I don't think that'd be safe for him. But within this climate, he may just remain neutral, and he may not even nothing's going to happen. If he goes down, that'll be interesting. Then we'll know the pressure was great. So
yeah, that next FOMC meeting's on the 28th.
Okay, so the 28th, I'm sorry. So he's got time to think about it. And if they indict Jerome Powell, that is going to cause the climate changes, guys, at that point in time. So I'm going to get the wheel up. We're going to got to get this member giveaway up. We need 3 members, and we're going to check the interaction board here, and we'll get I think we got to get Cherry. No, we got Cherry on there. We need to get Melina, Jacob Anthony, and Ruvasha, and Suzu 15,000. We got to get these members on the wheel, and we'll spin the wheel for today's member giveaway. Give me a sec, guys. All right, I think I got it all. So I got all you guys on there. So we're going to spin this bad boy. And we're going to get 3 winners. And we're going to give out some soul today to 3 lucky members. Let's go. This is Abate 4. He says he already won. Are you a member, Abate? You got to be a member, man. And you got to interact with the member content. And then we'll get you on. And we do this every week. And the members know. They'll tell you. We give our soul. And we do this every week. So let's go. see her. Melina is going to be the first winner. Hand clap to you, Melina. I hadn't seen Melina on the wheel in a while. Hand clap to you, Melina. Let's see, Abate 4. Bro, I don't think you actually commented on the post. I'll check. I don't think you're a member. Let me check. You have to, one of the requirements is you have to be a member. And then you have to interact with the member post, or it's going to be a member video this week. I didn't get one out last week. Got a little crazy on the weekend. So Melina is going to be that first one. Let me check Abate. Let me see. I'm going to check the post. We'll check again because I could be wrong. Let me do a little check right quick, guys, because I don't want to miss anybody. Yeah, I don't think you're on there, brother. No, I do not see you on there. So you have to meet those requirements. Then you get on the wheel. Okay. So yeah, I do not. So I'm doing another check just to make sure because I don't want to miss anybody, but I think I got everybody. Absolutely. So let's go. We need 2 more. Bitcoin is moving, bro. It says it's first day the chat saying. Yeah, I may do a chat giveaway later this week. I don't know. Rami90150, you got Soul coming to your wallet. Give me, Rami, you know what to do. You're a regular. You are a regular. You are a member. Send me that address so we can get you some Soul. You have some Soul. So we need 1 more. Let's go. See where we're at. 94.3K LMFG. Some nice selling going on. So Suzu 15,000 is going to be the last winner. And clap to you, sir. I think that's a sir. Excuse me if you're not a sir. I don't want to, I hate doing that. I really don't know. You can't tell by the names, Sometimes you can if it's a male or a female, but sometimes you can't. So let's go ahead and get these. Get the tally essentially. Melina Rupin is going to be the first one. 1930 is going to be Melina Rupin. Haven't seen her in a while. And I believe that is a woman. So hand clap to you. And Rami 9158 is going to be the second winner. Hand clap to you. And then to wrap it up, Suzu 15,000 is going to be the last winner. And clap to all of the winners. All I need is that Soul address. And we'll get that to you immediately. We're going to do it quick today. So LMFG, we're pushing 94. I think we're going to push to 95 as we close it out. What say you, sir, as we move out of to the last comments?
Yeah, I'm looking at $94,400 and climbing.
Looks good, right? It looks pretty good. Looks pretty good.
All good. We just got to wait and see what these politicians do. We can just say the lawmakers. Hopefully it goes for the people. We'll see. Everyone enjoy and be safe. Rock and roll.
Yeah, very interesting. So we did get some breaking news on ETFs. It says Grayscale now has 30 plus crypto assets under consideration for future investment products, including BNB Hype. It's going to be a hyperliquid token, which is a perpetual exchange, which made a lot of money last year. Bonk and a Kaito. Very, very interesting. There's a huge list. Wow. Hold on. I got to put this up. I told you guys about these ETFs and why is it not up? Boom. Okay. So I told you guys about these ETFs that are coming this year. Now, Grayscale just put up a huge list of what's coming. It is bonkers. It's crazy. Now, as far as currencies, assets currently in the Grayscale, this is the one they already have. I didn't even know they had Zcash, but they have BTC, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, Stellar Lumens is in there as well, XRP and Zcash. Now, as far as smart contract platforms, these are the altcoin ETFs that are coming, guys. AVAX, ADA, there's your Cardano, Ethereum, obviously, Ethereum Classic, Age Bar, which has already got vehicles that are deployed right now. Zen, there's going to be Horizon. Optimism, can't wait for that one as well. I'm heavily invested in OP. Solana, Stacks, and you have Suchain as well. Now, the ones that are under consideration that are going to be added to this particular basket: Aptos, beautiful. Arbitrum, Binance Coin, Clio, Mantle, which is interesting. Mega ETH. I don't even know what the hell Mega ETH is. Somebody got to tell me that. Monad, bro. Monad is under, you feel me? That is under consideration for a Grayscale crypto ETF. And it just launched in November of last year. I'm so bullish right now. Now, Polkadot, Tonecoin, and Tron. So there's your Tron ETF. And we're talking Grayscale basket here. All of these are going to be stakeable too as well. Now, as far as financials, Athena, Allura, Hyperliquid, we just talked about that. Jupiter, Kimu Finance, Lombard, there's your DeFi right there. Lombard, which is that ticker is going to be BARD. These are all coins you need to be involved in, guys. These are the ones that are going to set new ATHs once they are launched within these vehicles. And they're all going to be stakeable. Maple is the one, the SERP, Morpho. These are decentralized finance tokens. They're at good buying prices too, not financial advice. Plum Network, Plume or Plum, I don't know how you say that, Plume or Plum. Let's go ahead and say Plum. Sky token as well. Now, as far as consumer and culture tokens, you have a basic intention token is already in there. Decentraland, didn't know that. That's in the Grayscale situation, in Dogecoin. Now, the considerations that are coming: Bonk, Playtron, and RE Protocol. Now, here's your artificial intelligence basket. LMFG, I've already named about 35 crypto ETF coins and tokens that are going to be launched this year. Over 35 already. So artificially intelligence is going to be Flock, Grass. Grass is a good one as well. Coyote. You have Noah's Research, Poseidon, Virtual Protocol, which I love Virtual Protocol, and then WorldCoin as well. That's interesting right there. So when it comes to utilities, you have Link, it's already in there. Filecoin, they already have Pyth. The Graph token, GRT, Walrus, those are already involved. Now, the ones that are coming this year are 00. These are going to be utilities and service tokens. GeoNet, GLU, Layer 0. There's your Layer 0 LMFG. There's your Layer 0 Altcoin ETF. And then Wormhole as well. What you take, bro? Because we were just talking about this. I'm very bullish on altcoin ETFs. This is what starts your alt season. This is where you get the altcoin boom. I got to tell you guys, you all should be very excited about this, because this is just a Grayscale basket. BlackRock is going to be doing this as well. All of this is going to be copied and pasted across the board of these fund managers. Fidelity, ARK Invest, they're going to be doing the same thing. So when I tell you these alts are going to move, I'm not joking. LMFG. What you take? I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, 100. Once these ETFs start going in, and I'm going to be looking for the ETF funds. Where you get these baskets, the ETF baskets. I think that's where it's going to be really advantageous. Nice and easy. And that's what will bring in the people that don't want to sit here and play with a million wallets. You're just going to be able to go right over Fidelity, Robinhood, like you said, BlackRock, on and on. Any of your brokers, rock and roll.
Yeah. No hassle. You can do it the decentralized route. It's all good. But I think I'm going to jump into some of these vehicles, man, straight up. So let's get out of it, brother. I hope you're doing well, and we'll do it again next week, man. You guys be careful. Watch what's going on with Bitcoin. A lot of things are pumping. You're probably going to want to FOMO in. Be careful, because there's whales that are waiting on you. So just strategically do it the right way, and we'll see you on the next show.